Hi, everybody. Mr. Wyatt here. And I want you to notice I wore a tie again for you today. But today I thought I would tie the world's shortest tie. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? But I wanted to look nice for you because you know what? I care about you guys and you matter. All right. So, anyway, we're going to talk about circle graphs today. And in this first example, we have a circle graph. I don't know what it is representing. And I don't even know what the percentages are for each of these sections in the circle graph. So what I want to do though today is try to estimate about what percent each of these sections in the graph would represent. We could actually find these percents if we were to use a protractor and measure all of these angles inside here, but we don't need to do that. But one of the things that we do need to know as sixth graders is how to kind of approximate or estimate what those different values would be. So when I'm looking at this circle graph, I'm just going to list each of the colors. I'm going to call this large section here red. You might be thinking, Mr. Wyatt, that isn't red. That's like something else. Ooh, and it even matches what I chose for my color that I'm writing in here. I'm going to call it red because Mr. Wyatt is colorblind. I cannot see colors very well, at least when they're close shades to each other. So I'm going to call this red, and we're going to be good with that. All right, anyway, this other section over here is clearly blue. I think everybody would agree with me there. And this third section is green. And I want to give an estimate for what percent of the entire whole here, of the whole circle graph, each of these sections represents. You know, the easiest one here is probably the red one, right? The red one looks like it's the easiest to estimate because it looks like it's about half of the total circle graph. Is this line coming through here, does it look like it's perfectly straight? It's very close to it. It looks like it might be a little bit less than half, but it's very, very, very close to half of the circle graph is red. And so I'm just going to write down 1/2 here. And as a percent, that would be 50% then. Okay. Maybe I should use a squiggly equal sign since it's about 50%. It looks like it might be just a hair less than 50% of the graph. Okay. Now that I know that, let's look at the other sections. What do I notice? Well, I do notice that the blue section here is less than 90 degrees. You can imagine if it were 90 degrees, it would form a right angle right here. Okay, so it's less than 90 degrees. And I can see the green section is greater than, here's 90 degrees right here. It's greater than 90 degrees. And actually, the amount that it is greater than 90 degrees is about the same as the amount that this other one is less than 90 degrees. That could work as a good hint for us too, um, because 90 degrees would be 25%. It would be 1/4 of the overall graph. So actually, if you want to take 25% and think, well, they aren't both 25%. But if I want to add a little bit to one and subtract a little bit from the other and have them be equal but still add up to 50%, I wonder, could I go with like, oh, I don't know, 35% and 15%? Would those be about the same amount either way? Maybe you could go about it that way, but I think I'm just going to estimate. I really just want to estimate. And so I'm looking at the green section here and I'm thinking, does it look like that green section is close to 1/3 of the entire circle graph? I don't know, maybe. We could get a little bit better look at it. I'm gonna do something here. I'm going to trace that section. I'm just gonna trace it. Hey, no judging the quality of my tracing here, okay? I could have traced much better. I don't like that at all. You know what? Let's get rid of that. I'm going to start over and do a better job of tracing. You know why? Because you matter and I care about you. So let's do a little bit better of tracing here. Down, over, and around, like that. That's a little nicer. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this and let's clone it. And I'm going to clone it again. I'm going to make 3 of these, okay? So why am I doing that? Well, I'm going to rotate this now around like this, and I'll just drag it over here like that. And then I'll do the same thing with this one here. I'm just going to rotate it around. Why did I rotate that direction? If I had gone the other way, I wouldn't have had to rotate as much. Would you look at that? It pretty much fills in this circle really well if I take 3 of these. So that green section there definitely appears to be 1/3 of the entire figure. I'll just take a green here. That's about 1/3, or approximately 33%. How did I know 33%? Well, you can divide 1 by 3. Anytime you have a fraction, you can make it a decimal by dividing. And 1 divided by 3, if you use a calculator, would equal 0.333333333, or 0.3 repeating. Move the decimal point 2 spaces to the right. It's about 33%. Okay, and if that's about 33%, then what's left for the green? Oh, what am I doing? Oh, Mr. Wyatt, that's the green right there. 1/3 or 33%. It's the blue that I still need to do. All right, so what's left? If the red is 50% and the green is 33%, then for the blue, all I have left is the other 17%, right? Because 33 plus 17 is 50, and 50 and 50 is 100%. So the blue section would be approximately 17%. As a fraction, by the way, that would be 17 out of 100. I'm really just looking at the percents here today for my estimates. Okay, so if the red section, let's go ahead and erase everything here that's showing on this circle graph. If the red section is about 50% and the green section is about 33%, then the blue section would be about 17%. Are these for sure exactly correct? Well, no, but they're very close, aren't they? And that's really all I need to do here today is kind of estimate what part of the whole each of these sections represents. And again, I started with the red section because that one looked like it was pretty much exactly half of the circle graph, maybe just a shade less than half of the circle graph. Okay, and it does look like the green section is about twice as big as the blue section, right? And 17 times 2 is 34. That's very close, isn't it, to being twice the size of this blue section. Let's look at another example here. This one has 5 sections. 2 of them are green. That's not very helpful for someone like me when I have troubles with seeing the differences in the shades. And I want to estimate what percent each of the sections in this entire circle graph, each of these sections represents. So I need to look at it closely and see, is there a good place for me to begin? And I kind of want to start with this dark green section here. Oops, I should choose a better color. Yellow on white is terrible. I'll just go with black. All right, so this section right here does appear to form a right angle here, or it's very close to it, right? So if that's 90 degrees, this measurement right here, what percent of the whole would that section represent? Well, it's about 1/4, right? Or 25%. That's a very, very good estimate for this section right here. Now, what do I want all the sections to total when I'm all done? Well, shouldn't they all add up to 100%? Wouldn't 100% be the whole thing? It would. All right, so let's see if I can make any other estimates here. That's 25%. And just to help us out here, let's get these extra lines out of the way here. You know what? This orange section also appears. Oops. Oh boy. This orange section also appears to be very close to being a right angle. So this is close to 25% also, isn't it? That's actually a little bit over half of the graph is that these two sections together. I mean, this line isn't perfectly straight, but we're just estimating. That's pretty close. All right, now this blue section here, it appears that if I took two of those, if you imagine like a little dotted line here, wouldn't each of these sections here be about the same as two of these? So this looks like it's double the size of this. And the yellow and this little light green section look pretty close in size. If I cut that one in half, this would almost be the same as, if I took two of them, it would almost be the same as the yellow. All right, the yellow, I don't know, it maybe looks like it's just a hair smaller than that green one, but you could imagine splitting this into 5 parts over here. And, one of those 5 parts would go here. So what would that be? About, I don't know, 10%? 10%, 10%, 10%, 10%, 10% would add up to 50%. And then this would be 20%. And this would be about 20% here. Do those look like good estimates? 10%, 20%, and 20%. I think that actually looks like it might be pretty close. Let's get these out of here so they aren't making it all look messy. That looks pretty close. I mean, it's a little less than 1/4 of the graph here, this light green section. So it should be a little less than 25%, but about the same as the yellow section. So 20% there, 20% there, and the little blue looks like it's maybe half of each of those. So 10%. So 20, 40, 50% plus another 50% is 100%, isn't it? So I kind of like my estimates here. What do you think? Do they look like good estimates to you? Well, hopefully they do. But that's all we need to do today with the circle graphs is just try to estimate. We're not finding exactly what each section would be as a percent of the whole, but we're estimating what percent of the whole each of those sections would represent. Okay, now not only is my tie short today, but your assignment today is pretty short too. I think it's only 8 questions long. Okay, I hope you have a nice day, everybody.